we have our next opponent. See, I'm from Myanmar. I didn't know that flag. Okay, we could play it, but we're probably going to play a Busch-Gass Gambit. Probably. Let's put on those Gambit glasses. Let's go. Bishop c4. Okay, let me give you another opportunity to take it. What if... Ah, brutal. Okay, what if I give you another opportunity to take it? It gets better every time. Okay, what about another opportunity? You're literally castled. Okay, here we go. I've gone in this exact position a handful of times, and the move I like here is knight c6. I have a couple videos here. Let's go. I got to keep these Gambit glasses on because I managed to sacrifice a pawn. I tried really hard. Okay, take c6, bishop f4. That's a good move. That is a good move, and shields actually my main idea, which is going to be to transfer this diagonal. And we might just be down a pawn for nothing. But that's fine. Been there before. Been there, done that. What can we do? So, anything, they're going to play d4, right? Pretty much anything. So let's start with bishop g4. There's no f3. It's not like the knight was going to do a ton there with the bishop shielding. I wanted to hear maybe rook e8. Trying to get in there, but they have... Okay, knight c3 they're going to play. So d4 now, there is knight e4, right? So that could be annoying. Rook e8, knight c3, d4. Oh, we can cause some problems, and then trying to play rook e2. This is also an annoying move. Okay, we got some ideas. Let's play with rook e8. I like this. Knight c3, d4. Knight a4, rook e2. It's probably not even as good as it looks. Yeah, it's probably not even as good as it looks. But it's not like I have a lot of ideas in this position. So let's do it. Knight a4. Bishop b4 is interesting last move, also, actually. And it's something I kind of regret not playing. Because a3, I could just come back. And then the point is I was threatening d4. If they played d4 themselves, then I had options for rook e2 and e4. But okay, I don't even think they saw this idea. Which is why they're thinking. Let's now come in rook e2. Queen needs to step back. But like I said, it's not as good as it looked, even. This guy is really in my way. Let's step back, bishop d6 probably. As much as I don't want to trade, it's not like I have a ton of options. Bishop d6 is fine. And queen recapture. Not that they need to take it. Queen takes d6 helps my position. In fact, that really develops for me. Yeah, so they play c3. Trying to cause some problems. You know, the light squares is the next place I'm looking. I like this idea. Maybe knight. We're just kind of spitballing here. Knight h5. Now my idea is like knight f4 and such. Oh yeah, that comes nicely. Knight takes e2 would win the queen. I didn't even calculate g3, but I assume we got something there. Oh, we're cooking. Cooking now. Oh, threatening knight takes d3. Got some good ideas here. This is nice. Do I want to sacrifice? I think I do. I just don't really see how to make it work. Oh my goodness. There's so many good moves here. Okay. Does this just win the game? Yes, it does. No. Queen takes a4. Bishop f3 then. Yes? Oh my god. I'm a genius. Oh my goodness, what a move. Okay, if you take it, this is mate. If you take this, I win your queen, which you might have to do, because otherwise my next move is... If you play g3 and h3, queen I play queen g6, threatening mate. g3, knight h3. Oh my god. Okay, you have to give your queen, I think. After which... Okay, no, wait, I have to take that. I would play knight h3, but there's king h1. Yeah, you have to give your queen. Queen g6 just kills you. I don't see anything else. Oh my goodness. We didn't have the dark squares, so we did the light squares. I'll attack on one or the other. We will make the attack work. Takes knight takes e2, king h1. I think, actually, I have queen d5. Don't even take the queen, but play queen d5. They called me a madman. Oh, was that really smart? Queen g6, g3, knight h3. I think we can checkmate this way. G6. If I take rook g2, okay, let's take this. Go here. I think. Queen c5. I have knight g5. Anything else? I just move this knight. There was a lot of appealing trickery there. I think this was the most principled. Yeah, we got him. G4. I would just play queen takes g4. Yeah, that was the best chance. But okay, I can come in here as well. Try and create like the square. Wow, wait, that was really good. That was really good. I think I have a perfect record in this ridiculous gambit. Where we just absolutely insist that you have to take this pawn on e5. And wow, oh, question mark brilliant. Question mark is our number of brilliance. Okay, wait. I'm actually curious to figure out how many brilliance, because I think I maybe had a few. I maybe had a few. Guys, what a game. What a game. Okay, wait. I played black. Yeah, okay, there we go. What a game. Okay, let's have a look. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. This is working in Title Tuesday. So this was like the version of the Busch-Gass Gambit where they absolutely insist they're not going to take the pawn and they just want a boring Italian position, right? Like here's their first option to take the pawn. Obviously, I get 2 question marks for bishop c5. Take, we play here knight c6, right? If they go knight f3, we have d5, which is a very fun line. Knight takes c6, d takes c6. We have our Stafford capture, opening the queen, opening the bishop. Lots and lots of fun lines here with ideas of f5, with ideas of knight f6, knight g4, with ideas of queen h4, attacking this, attacking here. All covered on my channel with d takes c6 and all this. What we're talking about right now is bishop c4, knight f6, and then again, their second option to take the pawn, which is even juicier than the first one, because knight takes e5 hits f7, right? So if you look at that even for a second and you're like, okay, castles here, if you like even consider this for a second, you're like, wow, this should be amazing. d4, whole center, attacks the bishop, up a pawn, and more. You're going to castle and just be completely winning. Here, of course, we play knight c6. They do have the option to sort of transpose to the other line, after which, you know, we want to play knight g4, queen h4, and checkmate. Or they can take on f7, which is really fun. Bishop f7, we move our king, and then we get him. Or knight f7, we sacrifice back here, knight takes e4 check, queen out, and we get him. Okay, awesome lines there. It's like +3 according to the engine, but no one ever lives to tell the tale if they play that with white. But d3, they're like, no, I don't want any of that. Even castles invites this fun line with knight takes e4 and trying to sacrifice on f2, play e4, d5, and all that stuff. But, which is also covered. But they play your d3. They're like, none of that. We just want a boring Italian position that we're transposing to, as if this happened with e4, e5, knight f3, and knight c6, like normal stuff, defending the pawn, and then with bishop c4 and all that. So they play d3. They're like, no. But we're like, yes, you are going to take this pawn. So castles, we give them another opportunity to take on e5. They say no. They castle. And now they're really expecting knight c6 and us to actually defend the pawn, a move we probably should have played on move 2. But we kept having not done that. Now we play c6, and now it's like, okay, if you don't take this pawn, what are you doing, right? Because if you just continue la-di-da-di-da with c3, now d5, right? I never put a knight here. I never bothered to defend this. I shouldn't be able to get away with all that. Now I will take over like the whole center, and I'm just better. So you can't do that. Finally, they're like, okay, I'll take the pawn. I'll take the pawn, right? So they castle. They're totally safe. Not what could possibly happen, right? So we play your d5, takes, right? So if the bishop moves, then we just take twice on e4, and we're better. E takes d5, c takes d5, bishop back to b3, knight to c6. So here they take on c6, right? If knight f3 back, okay, we give this pin. Knight takes c6, pawn takes c6. So I've had this position now a few times. We have more than 0 compensation for the pawn, and it looks like we have 0. We don't have full compensation for the pawn, but it's actually trickier than it looks like, because your one developed piece is very bad, right? Pawn takes c6 made sure of that. It can never do anything, cause any problems attacking here. Oh no, I wanted to analyze that more. Okay, we left off in this position here. After knight takes c6, pawn takes c6, with the pawn defending its fellow pawn. In an interesting position here, because white is kind of a blank slate, not really clear how to develop, as these pieces have a few options. I've faced bishop g5 a couple times. Which looks like it makes a ton of sense, introducing the pin. But we have a good move here with queen to d6, getting out of the pin, and introducing ideas like knight to g4, as we look towards other targets, towards the enemy king. In the game, my opponent played probably a better move, which is bishop at f4. Okay, the engine maybe not a huge fan. I'm just going to turn on to actual analysis. The bishop on f4 shields the king from what is really going to be my next target. I was really planning like queen d6 and knight g4 and planning to attack h2 without the knight over here near the king to defend. Now d4 makes a lot of sense, and they're going to be able to trade off for my best piece. My bishop is not going to have either diagonal in that case. So here I really only have one option, because d4 is going to be, like, let's say, just go here, it's fine, but just d4, and I think I'm kind of out of compensation here, although the engine gives me something. I guess this bishop is just so bad. So, for me, compensation means opportunities to attack their king. So, I'm playing here bishop to g4, because my knight's not going there now. Queen d2, and now rook e8. I like this move in knight h5 as an option as well, because of the ideas of just trading off for that bishop to try and take this diagonal. But okay, rook e8 makes a lot of sense, because rook e2 is a strong idea. In the game here, knight c3. And if I give white really just a couple more moves here, they're going to play d4, they're going to play f3. Now, as soon as they're able to, no pin there anymore. For example, let's say I just go a5. I think they just play d4, bishop moves, they play f3. This bishop moves as well. Now they play something like rook e1. Okay, a5 was actually a useful move, because I was threatening to trap this bishop. But, they deal with this somehow. And then I'm kind of out of ideas a little bit. Although, in all these lines, I still have some comp, because this piece is actually very, very bad. But rook e8 is interesting. So I'm threatening rook e2, right? So knight c3, and now I'm immediately keeping the pressure with this move d4. And they actually had this nice option knight e4, which I didn't really see. Takes, rook takes, and f3. The line continues here. I'm actually not losing a piece because of rook e2. Really nasty move. If you take it, this is check. I mean, I have the benefit of looking at the engine right now. So they got to go here. Now I can move the bishop. And okay, I'm not losing material. You still can't take my rook, but you can trade off for it. You can trade off for it. Otherwise, next move is queen e7, I guess. You can trade off for this rook. And white here is a little bit better. Now, I've played d5, right? So I've freed this. And so they're doing okay here. Yeah, I was saying during the game, interesting is bishop b4, trying to play d4. And if they play d4 themselves, now I have access to the square with a pin, and things are looking good. So my threats aren't actually really at their king, but it's kind of really bothersome. They're just awkward development, and their pieces kind of tripping over each other a little bit. Okay, f3 they can play now without this issue, so they should be actually relatively okay. d4, okay, knight a4 wasn't a bad choice, but it was kind of a greedy choice. Knight e4, I guess, is much more practical. In the game, so rook e2, queen c1. Like I said, it's still plus 0.8 here, so rook e2, I was saying during the game, this is better than it looks, or is not as good as it looks, rather. Okay, my bishop is hit right now. It really has nothing better to do than go to d6 and offer to trade itself, because what's it going to do in e7 or here? This bishop here is defending this side of the board. My opponent plays actually another good move here, which is c3. So they're playing very precise, clinging onto their extra pawn, trying to make this trade and activate their queen this way. And still trying to bundle up around their king. But the thing is, it's only a matter of time before they crack. You just need to keep up the pressure. And even though these moves aren't super duper precise, it just makes sense based off of vibe. So knight h5 we play. They take d6. Again, this is correct, and their advantage keeps growing here, but now they're actually in a situation where they only have one move. Their move value is extremely high. The top move is plus 1.5. The second best move is minus 0.7. You wouldn't really know it, but yeah, the position is very critical because I have very strong ideas like knight f4 and bishop f3, like you saw in the game, and just checkmating them right there. They needed this one move, queen to g5, which makes a lot of sense in retrospect. I mean, you're defending here, you're stopping queen g6, you're attacking all these pieces, and suddenly my pieces are tripping over one another, and my only move is knight f6. And okay, they can play queen c5 and try to get these queens off the board. Yeah, queen g5, not obvious. I can try this. Takes knight f4. It's probably worth a shot. Threatening this. Otherwise, but yeah, king h1. Takes d3, trying to take here. Should run out of steam if they're able to successfully defend this. I think queen g3 is most logical. But okay, I have this move. Interesting. So, in the game, yeah, queen g5. But we keep up the pressure, keep up the pressure. They're never going to play the best move every single time. Or if they do, okay, they were going to beat you anyway. But, yeah. Keep up the pressure, keep up the pressure. Finally, my opponent cracks. They play bishop to d1, which looks very, very logical. You hit the rook, and it looks like you're winning some material there. But I have a great move here, which is knight f4, which is what I wanted to play anyway. Knight f4, but I look like a genius now, because takes, knight takes e2 check, and I win their queen. But the position is already really dire for white, actually. I got my first brilliant of the game there. I got my first brilliant of the game with this move, knight f4. It gave me 2 exclams. Well, can I get those animations, please? May I? Interface. Show move classification on board. There we go. Knight f4. Yeah, looks very nice. Now the pressure on g2 overwhelms. We have a knight there, which is the Kasparov attacking knight, if you will. Pressuring g2. And yeah, lots of ideas. We've switched from a dark square to attack to a light square attack. The bishop comes into f3, queen comes into g6, and checkmate to follow. So they play here. Not obvious what to do. C takes d4. I guess king h1 delayed the inevitable a little bit. But yeah, I mean, at minimum, I can just keep taking stuff. Bishop h3 also, a very nice move. Threatening to take g2 if they take. Check and here. Not immediately to g6 because f4 is hanging. But check and here, coming to g2. Rook g1. Rook e1. Filthy. And then queen g2 next turn. And then queen g2 next turn. Even if the rook is still there, queen g2 next turn with the pin. Nice. Wow. So, in the game, c takes d4 was played, but now bishop f3. Yeah. And another couple exclams for William with this move, bishop to f3. Yeah, really, queen g6 is coming next. If they take it, it comes with check, even better. Not just a checkmate threat, but check. And otherwise, if you can induce g3 at any moment, that is checkmate, now that the bishop controls h1. So bishop f3, just a brutal move, and they just don't have resources to come. The engine recommending here, queen takes f4 and just giving the queen. In the game, h3, which was a really smart move to keep fighting. So we play here, queen g6, g3. Their point with h3 is they're just like offering that pawn just to give themselves a square in this line. Oh, I don't know why I didn't play this. Takes and mate. I should have played it like this. With the rook controlling there and the bishop controlling there. That is a nice one. Alas. I played here and it gave me a miss. Even though it's still checkmating. Which is fair. That's fair. It's a fair criticism. That's brutal. Here in queen h5. Okay, I got 2 more exclaims. So then now any knight move and queen h1 next turn, for example, takes. Knight out and queen h1. Or even queen c5 hitting the base of the discovered can often be good. But I can shield that and queen h1. So they play your g4 just to delay that a little bit. You're right. Also trying to maybe get their king to g3 to anything to extend the game. But just queen takes g4. Okay, and I can get into g2. They don't even have rook g1 in this position because I can checkmate them. So going to the knight there. Yeah, they're playing kind of without all these pieces. I mean, they were up the pawn. They played c3, cd4, but it was a little slow, and they missed their one key defensive resource, queen g5, to keep them in the game. Otherwise, yeah, this is why we gambit. Love this line. Force them to take this pawn. And yeah, at this point, I've got quite a compilation here. There's no way out of the Busch-Gass Gambit. There's no way out. All right, y'all. I'm pretty exhausted now, so I'm probably going to sign off. But I might sign on for the next Tale Tuesday, and hopefully we won't get booted from that one. All right, y'all. Subscribe, and check out, right? You're already here. Check out the link tree. Full repertoire breakdown of all these gambits, including the ones we play here on stream, that you can learn how to play. Very first video in each of these playlists are just a full repertoire breakdown, like a chessable course, but for free. And then, okay, you can see the ideas as I post videos of me playing them. Yeah, thanks so much, y'all. And then join the Discord here. Awesome, awesome community on Discord where we share games, discuss opening ideas, and more. And you get notified when I go live and post new videos. But appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all next time.
William Grave, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. E4. E5. Knight F3. Bishop C5. The Busch-Gass Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pod unlocked!